Welcome back to AmandaSushii Speaks. AmandaSushii here, and today we are talking The Apothecary Diaries Season 1, Episodes 16 through 20. And if you have not gotten to Episode 20 yet, please don't listen to this. Please wait till you've gotten there and come back. Because I'm too excited right now and I'm going to spoil it, so hop off if you don't want any spoilers for Episode 20, Season 1. Okay, bye. So, I clocked it. I mean, I guess it was fairly obvious. I'm sure most people clocked it that Lock-in was her father. I didn't expect it to get revealed so soon, but I digress. We were correct. We were right. We're always right. We're always thinking. I am confused, actually, but we'll talk more about that. And the mysterious guy who was always at the scene of the crime with the blue hair and blue eyes, or like dark navy hair, whatever, that was Suirei. And I'm so happy I clocked him and didn't put him as like a random character, and it was her. And okay, let's just hop into it. We're gonna start from episode 16. So episode 16 is called Lead, and it's the one with the three brothers. Their dad left them like the chest, the glass fishbowl, and the key, and the shed. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, out of all of the episodes of Apothecary Diaries so far, this one I could care less about. And I know, okay, that it leads up to the big scheme that we discover, but it's not my favorite episode, okay? And I don't have too much to say about it besides the fact that Basen is now secured as when Gaoshin is not around, he is the Gaoshin. Honestly, the only thing I really took away from this was that the mining and working on those stones and stuff caused the father's death, which Maomao clocked, and that's why she asked the brothers if the father worked with this certain material or something. And that's why at the end of the episode, when she was leaving, she ran back to the brother and told him he should go visit a doctor because that material mining and all that is hazardous to his health, and she clocked that. So she's hoping like the doctor can catch it before anything happens to the younger son. And I did like the end, like they didn't like hate each other, the brothers. They, got along and created this business where they all thrive in their individual talents. But episode 16, hey, not all animes are gonna have the most amazing, coolest episodes ever. The only one I can think of where all the episodes were fantastic was Attack on Titan. Fight me on that, you will lose. I want to talk about episode 17, A Jaunt Around Town, and I just loved this episode all the way through, basically. It seemed like Maomao's and Jinshi's first date, but before we even get there, Jinshi's transformation I felt like he still looked, very pretty, like Maomao agreed, but, just little changes, and we just love a character makeover. And the part where Maomao was like, she wanted to play a little experiment, so she put lipstick on him, basically, and he looked like just Lady Adwa, basically. So, yeah, he's not beating the sun allegations at all, and the lady Surin, and Gaoshin were all like, yeah, he looked way too pretty. That just solidifies Jinshi's status as a baddie. He's a bad bee. You don't want to mess with him. Androgynous king. Period. Also, Maomao was getting little clues that Jinshi isn't who she thinks he is. Like she went to put dirt on his nails and she saw his calluses and said that that type of callus might be from kind of sword fighting or something along the lines of that. And she didn't think a eunuch would take part in those type of activities, so her suspicions are being raised. We have already seen him sword fight, and we know that he's not exactly who he says he is, so I'm excited for her to find out. And I need to know what his real title is. Like, what did they, he's Master Jinshi, but what is he really? Is he actually, does Emperor know that's his son? Or is it, something else? I don't know. I'm just a little bit confused on his title. But anyway, let's move on. Lady Swarin, I think I'm saying her name wrong for sure, but she's the older lady assistant who's the only female who's been attending to him. She was like, okay, Maomao, well, if you can make him ugly, I can make you beautiful. So I love that pink gown she put Maomao in. She looks so cute. The lady knows what she's doing. Maomao just looks like the cutest little noble lady of all times, but then you wouldn't be able to tell that she was actually like super evil genius level behind that pretty face. So I just love the different disguises that we just got for Jinshi and Maomao. And now they're just on this cute little date with Boston as their like secret escort, like the father figure almost. So yeah, this was so cute. I love that Jinka, he was getting annoyed because Maomao was just walking without talking to him. He's like, why are you being so silent? And she's like, I have nothing to say. And I thought that was just the most honest answer ever. It's giving Shailene Woodley during that interview. Like, the lady was like, I'm hungry. And she goes, well, maybe you should eat. That is like the nonchalant bluntness I like Maomao for. And I feel like Maomao kind of opened up to Jinshi because she talked about that she's worried about her adoptive father. And, you know, he was shocked that she even cares about anybody or thinks like that. Like, he didn't think she would. And yeah, she said that she's worried about him and that he is a doctor and he was a eunuch, and this catches his interest, and that her father also studied abroad, and so this catches Jinshi's interest because he's like, oh, so he must have been very high up. And later on, we see that he asked Gaoshin about it, but I don't think they fully say that it's Dr. Lumen. I don't think they fully have that record, maybe, which is weird because Maomao was able to find it through that library or whatever, so I didn't see they fully figured that out yet, that Dr. Lumen was the one who delivered Jinshi and switched the babies or whatever it was. So I'm waiting for them to fully say, oh my gosh, we know her father, and see what maybe what the emperor is going to say about that, because he would have known the doctor as well, right? And then Jinshi asked Maomao, how does a courtesan's value decrease? Which is the only reason he was there, because Locken gave him the address to go. So yeah, so he asked her, and then she goes, there are two ways. One is that she loses her purity, which kind of confused me because I'm like, isn't that what, you know, the job is? Like, not to be pure? I don't know. I guess maybe some are and some aren't. But then the top three girls, like, I think her name is Parin, one of Maomao's sisters we see all the time, like, isn't she not pure? I don't know. I don't understand that part of it. But then she said the second way to completely reduce their value to zero is pregnancy. So love that. I mean, I expected that. I predicted it in the last episode, and it's still just a horrible concept. And it's also real life, you know, like real world stuff too. It's like, yeah, you have to do sex work, and then if you end up pregnant, then boo on you and boo on that child. So goodbye, you're out on the streets, you are worth nothing. That's just so sad. And I feel like, yeah, that is what happened to Maomao's mom. Almost. We do see her in the next episode. So moving on to episode 18, Lock-In. This episode is where Ish hits the fan. Oh my god. So first of all, Maomao is having this dream that she's back to her like infant stage, and she remembers this woman trying to kill her with a knife. Her mother, I presume, and that is terrifying. And the fact that she remembered that as an infant and it just like came up based on what we learned about the value of a courtesan decreasing to zero, I believe, yes, the mother was trying to kill her because she was so maybe angry at her or something for making her tied to Lock-In, and then also decreasing her value, and maybe she was trying to take it out on baby Maomao. And yeah, that just is awful to think about, and I'm hoping I'm wrong about that. And so Maomao goes to the verdigris brothel. We see her go to the annex, and that's where we see who I assume is her mom, who I'm going to call her mom, the woman in bed with syphilis. I don't know, I just feel like based on the character's look, the fact that she's being kept there, the fact that Lock-In seems to be a regular visitor of the what the heck? So Maomao has been aware of him. Based on all of those and just the general vibe of how Maomao is tending to this woman, I am assuming it is her mother. It's obviously kin to her, and I'm going to make the claim and say that's her mom. And then when you find out that she has syphilis, I was like, did Lock-in somehow give this woman that on purpose and got her pregnant at the same time? Like, double homicide. I'm sorry. So now I'm wondering if that bandage that Maomao keeps on her arm is the syphilis rash like genetic to the child, and Maomao has it on her arm, and that's what that rash is? That makes me so sad for her. I hope that's not the case, but it seems like her adoptive father, Dr. Lumen, is, making medicine for her mom to at least, I don't know, keep her alive. I don't really understand because, she just seems to be kind of this person who's not cognizant in bed, but she was messing with these black and white stones, it looked like, on the bed and putting them in some sort of formation, and it kind of looked like pathways to me, because every little thing is important in animes like this, especially like detective style ones with someone like Momo as the lead. I'm like, okay, so these look like pathways leading to something, and Momo just thinks that she's just out of it, she's not there anymore. I'm thinking that she is there somehow, just a little bit, and she's trying to make this pathway. And so Lock-in seems to be trying to buy Momo, or Maomao buy her out in her contract, but Jinshi already did that. And Mei, one of the top 3 girls at the Verdigris brothel, and Maomao's basically sister, whatever, she's talking to Maomao, and she's the one who distracts Lock-in, but then she says something and it makes Maomao think like, oh, she must be in love with a client, and I really hope it's not Lock-in, because girl, ew. This episode was just revealing Maomao's lineage, because we see her mom, and then Lock-in and Jinshi are having this conversation. Gaoshin's there too, and Lock-in basically lets him know that he is Maomao's biological dad, and yeah, couldn't get any worse than that. And then he requests a meeting with her, and Jinshi sees her, asks her, and she just gives him the angriest face ever. Like, if I don't know what would happen, because I'm episode 20, we didn't even see her face him, not face to face. So I'm like, what is she gonna do? Like, what does she know about him? Is she going to design this special poison and, I don't know, use it on him? I don't know. I am scared, but also excited to see their meeting. And also in this episode, a big thing that happened that's important is Maomao is in the medicine garden by the military area, and she meets Suirei, who is there as well, and Suirei talks about this resurrection ingredient, and Maomao is super interested in it, I assume to get her mom back to normal, back to life. And Suirei's like, just kidding, lol, and that's kind of where they leave it. And I have to apologize because Soirei, I am getting her name, and Soiren, who is Jinshi's older lady attendant, their names to me are just so similar, and I have problems with my R's, guys. I'm so sorry about that, but I'm gonna call her Suirei is our number 1 wanted criminal in whatever kingdom this is called. Okay, let me float this idea by you. This is my prediction with Suirei. I think that she is also Lock-in's daughter, so her and Maomao are stepsisters. I think that's a good theory because Suirei's eyes kind of match Maomao's and Lock-in's in that blue sense, and she looks with the hair dark hair similar to Lock-in. She's smart. She knows her medicine, which is also an interest that Maomao has, and maybe she got that from her adoptive dad, but the intellect is there. And then also they both have this kind of disinterested attitude. Similar vibes. Maomao, she kind of gets this cutesy cat edit, but I feel like Suirei can also, maybe not as cutesy, but the vibe is similar, okay? So this is my prediction that they are stepsisters, and Lock-in, and she's Lock-in's daughter as well, especially when we talk about episode 20, and Maomao is admiring her. I'm like, that's gotta be sister vibes, you know what I mean? But before we get ahead of ourselves, episode 19, Chance or Something More. You guys, this is where the plan, everything just connects. It's giving Death Note. It's giving Criminal Minds. It's giving NCIS. Let's put all of this together. And those episodes I thought were just like low-key whatever episodes with Maomao just solving things. I was like, this doesn't really have anything to do with the actual like main plot. But it did. It had everything to do with it. So good on Maomao for figuring this out. I love when shows, animes do this like ba-boom episode where everything just makes sense. Maomao is a certified genius, but also like the people behind this plan of getting rid of the officials, having like basically plan C to let that thing fall on Jinshi, like everyone was brilliant. I'm sorry, but you know, you gotta give dues, you gotta give people their dues, right? That was a pretty ingenious plan, but unfortunately for them, they were faltered by our super genius, Maomao, who could be the sister of the other girl, Soiree. Don't mind me. The fact that Maomao figured this out, ran, and like, you know, did everything she could to try and get through that guard, and she even like on purpose got him to hit her because she said to herself like he reacted how I wanted him to react, but he didn't cause a big enough scene to stop what was going on inside. People were just judging him on the outside. And yeah, first of all, we know that guard. I feel like that guard is about to get punished. He's about to get tortured because who's hitting Maomao, okay? And yeah, it was so when Lock-in appears behind her. He's like, I will take ownership. I will take the blame of whatever is going on. You can let her pass through. Like, so creepy. And Maomao didn't even want to look at him in the face. I don't know. I guess she's never fully faced him, right? At least from these little interactions, they've never faced each other as far as like up to episode 20. But anyway, she uses his distraction to go and save whichever noble's in there and push him out the way. Of course, we know it's Mr. Jinshi. She literally saved his life. He would not be here if it wasn't for her. And that is on Soulmates. Thank you very much. I'm a simple gal. I see a fun, prince-like guy and a disinterested female main character. Shipped. The ship has sailed. Thank you very much. And Jinshi carrying her down the stairs, like through all the military personnel watching, like king. A king carrying his queen. But I was confused because Lock-in's expression, he looked shocked. Like, I wasn't sure, is he shocked because what if he was also part of this plan to take down Jinshi? Obviously, I forgot to say, but like the ceremony seemed like something for his princely duties or his whatever they're saying he is to the emperor. Like, we know he's the son, but is he the son like in public? Like, do people know that? Or is he like a highly decorated, you know, officer or something that they put in mass? So I don't really know exactly what the ceremony was for. Like, was it for inducting him into the family or like saying he's the heir or something like that? So I don't really have a clue on what the ceremony's for. I was confused. Like, is Lock-in upset? Like, was he part of that plan to destroy that? And he's like, why isn't he gone? But then he was one who let Maomao through and he knew why she wanted to go through. Or was he shocked like Maomao was like injured and just completely out of it and like unconscious? Or was he shocked that Jinshi was physically carrying her? Like, he didn't think Jinshi would show his face, maybe, and like it's supposed to be a secret. I don't know. I was just shocked by the expression. Like, it didn't make any sense. And then I have this, like, theory. Another one I don't want to... I don't know. What if he's actually not creepy? But I don't know, because he's giving creepy. What if he's actually... But he, like, I don't know. He goes to Mei, like, the Verdigras Maomao's sister, you know? The courtesan. So I feel like a good character... I don't know. Like, what if he's not creepy and he was, like, kind of shocked that his daughter was hurt? But I don't know if he's compassionate. I don't know. I don't like him right now, okay? So to me, it's like, oh, maybe he's in shock because Jinshi survived, and that's kind of what I'm going with. But I do have those other little lingering ideas. And finally, we're at episode 20, Thornapple, which, you know, should be called Bad Gals Rise Up. This episode, we learned so much, but let me just take it through from the beginning. Maomao is kind of telling everyone what happened and why she rushed in, how did she know. And one thing I thought was interesting was that Basen, who is Gaoshin's son, which, by the way, I also predicted. I say I'm predicting all these things every single episode, but also it's not like they're just leading us to that and it's fairly obvious. But you know what? I'm going to take what I can when I'm right. You know what I mean? Anyway, Basen is like, he's kind of yelling and he's like outraged. And Maomao takes it as he's upset that someone tried to attack Jinshi, but she shouldn't be getting yelled at. But I think she's misinterpreting that. Like, Basen, I think he low-key kind of worries about her as like a friend. And so I think he was more upset, like she's injured and this happened to Jinshi, so it could be both things, and that he's just upset that one of his friends got hurt. You know what I mean? I don't know. I would love for Basen and Maomao to be friends, and then her and Jinshi to be dating, and I'm in a whole other anime. Don't mind me. And so then everything kind of plays out with Suirei pretending that she's dead and the whole casket scene. And I'm sorry, but Suirei is a mad genius, just like Maomao. Mad geniuses unite, create, master plans. And then the whole situation with Suirei unfolds, and Maomao figures out, oh, she is not in that casket, girl. And she opens that thing up, even though she has a bad leg, and reveals that that body in the casket is not Suirei. And honestly, Suirei, you beautiful mad genius. Iconic plan. Maomao, you beautiful mad genius. Maomao is like a maniac genius. Like, she has like this Jekyll Hyde personality, because she like low-key scared everyone with her evil laugh. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, can we get my stitches redone? They're bleeding. So yeah, she's got an interesting personality, and we definitely know she has like this dark side. So I don't know, I'm afraid it's going to come out soon when she eventually has to see Lock-in. But along with my theory of Suirei being Maomao's did I say stepsister before? I meant half-sister. Am I dumb? Half-sister, half-sibling, not stepsister. You guys, you knew what I meant though, right? Right. But anyway, I see them being half sisters because another reason, like, Maomao is like, I have to meet her, someone that brilliant that shouldn't die. I need to like pick her brain and I'll torture her or whatever if she doesn't want to tell me, because she wants to know about that resurrection medicine, obviously because she wants to resurrect her mom from whatever state she's in. So I know Suirei, we're gonna meet her again, and I hope her and Maomao, I mean, even though Suirei orchestrated this attack on Jinshi, I don't know, maybe they could be mad genius friends. If Orochimaru can be at Naruto's wedding, then, okay, wrong anime, but you get my gist. Am I also an evil person for low-key thinking Suirei is a genius? Anyway, moving on from that, we see Lady Lolan, the pure consort. I told you I have trouble with my R's, guys. But anyway, we see her, and I'm just confused as to why someone whispers something to her, and I'm like, was she involved in Jinshi's attack? And Maomao mentioned something towards the end of the episode where, like, the Emperor, it's a complicated situation politics-wise, and it would be disastrous if she's the one who got pregnant with his heir. So, yeah, maybe she is in league with whoever is trying to get rid of Jinshi or not have him crowned or whatever the ceremony was for. But I don't really know much about her. But at the end of this episode, Jinshi's like visiting each concubine, and then we see that Lady Laolin changes her appearance a lot. She's a master of disguise, so I'm like, interesting. What does that mean? I don't know anything about her. So my current thought on her right now is that she's involved in the Jinshi scheme of trying to get rid of him, or her family was, and she was getting an update on the fact that it failed. And we get this scene with Jinshi and Gaoshin basically being themselves and not faking it, and that's kind of what the end of this episode is. And we already knew that Jinshi was not a eunuch. I think we could have put that together, but they definitely solidified that for anyone else confused, that he is just taking some kind of drink and it suppresses his manhood, and that's why he can like act as a eunuch and stuff. So Maomao, I have some good news for you. And the fact that he is actually 19 but is acting as a 24-year-old Master Jinshi, which is a disguise, which is just something made up. So is Jinshi even his real name? Like, what is he? Who is this man? As Maomao has thought multiple times. And through his thoughts of visiting the other concubines, we learned that the emperor actually does not like young girls. That's why Lady Li Shu is untouched. And he thought the old emperor had like horrible taste for young girls, and he's like disgusted by it. So he starts talking about the lineage a little bit, right? And so the Empress Dowager had a son 10 years after the emperor, right? And then Lady Adua was also pregnant. So I think in the beginning I was a little bit confused when we first got this information, because I thought it was like the empress, like the current empress and Lady Adua both had babies at the same time. But the Empress Dowager is the prior emperor's wife. So that would make her Jinshi's grandma. Ugh, my head. Let me try this again. So, the current emperor, when it was the episode where there was like a festival or something going on, and we met Lady Li Shu, and Maomao was testing like the fish soup and that type of stuff, during that episode we learned like, oh, the emperor has a younger brother who is not usually seen because he doesn't have a good disposition, like he's sickly or whatever. So we've never seen the younger brother. So that is who the Empress Dowager had, the younger brother, at the same time as the same time as Lady Adua was having Jinshi. So the emperor's son and the emperor's brother were both born on the same day or same time or whatever. And so then the babies got switched, where the emperor's brother passed. But Jinshi, his son, is alive, and this is where I'm confused. Do they know that Jinshi was switched? Do they know that Lady Adua is Jinshi's mom and not the Empress Dowager? Or do they think that Jinshi is the emperor's brother? And then Jinshi says about the emperor, he should just father a new crown prince. And so, okay, obviously whatever they think, brother or son, they know he's in league to be like the next emperor, like take over, but I don't know if he wants it. It doesn't seem like he wants it. Is he there as a backup so like the emperor can get one of his actual concubines that he likes, like pregnant with a son, and that child will be the next heir, and Jinshi will just be like backup. You know, from what I know about animes, from what we've seen about Jinshi, from his abs and sword skills, the man is, you know, well-trained fighter. I'm just going to assume we only saw him do like a spar fight and nothing else really, so I'm just assuming this man knows how to fight. And so maybe he's there as, you know, the backup, the spare, until the emperor can, you know, father another heir. So that's my theory on that. And then on to some other news. Maomao is heading back into Lady Gyoko's court. I think it was called the Jade Palace. I only say that because of her eyes and they remind me of Sakura. I need to stop talking about other animes. I'm so sorry, but I think she's going back into the Jade Palace, the inner palace, whatever you want to call it, and she's going to be back with the ladies. And when she learned that, she kind of was thinking to herself, did Jinshi do that like to protect her? Because Lock-in won't be able to enter that palace because you have to be either a eunuch or kin to the emperor. So yes, Maomao, he was protecting you because he's your boyfriend and your soulmate, obviously. But if Lady Gyoko is pregnant, I can imagine all the different, you know, plots to take down that baby before it's born if it's another heir. So I think we're going to have some exciting episodes ahead of us. And then it ended with somebody trying to buy out one of the Verdigris 3 princesses, and it looks like it's the one that Lehaku is interested in. I don't remember her name. Pyron? Paren, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that's what the next episode is going to be about. And we only have 4 more episodes of season 1, so I'm excited to see where they end this season. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to rate and follow this podcast. I'm fairly new, and you can also see the video format on YouTube at AmandaSushii, or follow me on my socials at AmandaSushii on TikTok and Instagram, sushi with 2 eyes. Thanks you guys so much for listening, and I can't wait to finish up season 1. Bye!